everybody. Welcome to the OMG Tarot Podcast. Today I am sitting down with Tabitha Dial, author of Creative Divination, Read Tea Leaves and Develop Your Personal Code, and Cheese Astrology, a weekly guide. So, hello, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me aboard.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Big fan of your podcast.
Oh, thank you. So, yeah, I'm excited to have you on, and I'm excited to talk about the cheese because cheese astrology. Walk me through that. What brought you that idea? How did you determine what cheese goes with what decan of each sign? Because it's not just each sign. It is broken down decan by decan by decan.
Of course, it's broken down because I had to fill a whole book with all this cheese information I had in my head. And there's a lot more cheese than just cheddar, Swiss, brie, and provolone. The concept for the book came about because my publisher and editor for Creative Divination, the tea leaf reading book, had our proof copy in her hands, and she already knew what I did for a living. She saw that I had done a different chalkboard for the cheese shop that I worked for that played on this meme about astrology and cheese. And so she looked at me with my first book in her hands and said, "Cheese astrology next?"
I love it.
Yeah, me too. And it was actually easy to you asked if how I could match, the personalities to the decans. It was easy because throughout my life I was obsessed with astrology and I read a whole lot of astrology books, and then that evolved over time into more of YouTube and Instagram reels, and I was kind of brought up to pay attention to birthdays.
Mhm.
And my grandmother also loved astrology. So it was my grandmother and my mom who kind of encouraged me and were with me, at least in spirit, as I wrote the book. And I was able to pick up on a lot of people's personality traits. And some of the cheeses I chose on purpose to either irk them a little bit or honor them.
Ah, nice. I love it. So yeah, I know my sun sign. I am a baby Swiss because I would be. You have it broken down date by date.
Is that the Capricorn date?
So that is actually Aquarius too.
Oh, no wonder I like you.
So yeah, no, everyone pegs me for a Capricorn, and it's like, no, I do have a giant Capricorn stellium, but my sun is not part of that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess January Aquarius is just Capricorn light anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Baby Swiss, the modest melter, a younger rendition of the theme of Swiss cheese.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
The flavorful observations. You are sweet and mild. Oh,
okay, I'll take it.
I love this. This is so Aquarius. Yeah, I love writing this part. Capable of giving that gooey, slightly nutty quality
Mhm.
you come to expect from traditional Swiss. Smooth, a bit creamy. I think that does describe a lot of Aquarians. Yeah.
Urge the rare perspective they have. Okay, yeah.
And in the flavorful observations, also, oh, sorry, the do's. How your sign understands everything with a fresh take. That's just one of the things I do appreciate about Aquarians as well.
Yeah.
The love of learning.
Now, would you ever consider creating a cheese tarot deck?
That was a big part of this original scheme. However, COVID happened and other things happened, and the contract almost didn't go through, but then it was picked up some years later. So I would still consider it. It might just have to be very text heavy.
Okay, and hey, that's fine. I mean, because yeah, that's kind of two different modes of thinking. Like you flip up a card, and it's like, oh, camembert. Well, what does that mean? And I guess you can kind
Hmm.
of walk your way through interpreting it like, okay, it's camembert, so it's very soft, it's melty. I'm thinking camembert is probably gonna be one of the cups. Mm,
It might have been. I think it's definitely in the Libra zone.
okay.
It's a pretty tasty one, but it's also got, yeah,
Mm.
it asks for a relationship.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
a little bit of a commitment there. Yeah, and I definitely those archetypes, like the modest melter, they were written with the cards in mind, but they were also written you know, thinking of like there's an astrology book about, your birth week. And that was a lot of the inspiration for this as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I thought the cheese deck would be very useful for keeping track of time too,
Mhm.
because I would have wanted the week that the person was born on the card as well.
Hmm. I can see that. And yeah, that could actually, because one issue that tarot readers frequently run into is timing questions. How do we want to time this? And that deck could really just build that right in.
Mhm. Mhm. A fun way to I encourage so I do have cheese spreads in the back actually, and I encourage folks to they can take a regular playing deck and put the dates and the, archetype on that if they wish, and one thing they could do is look for their own birthday or the current week and shuffle after they've shuffled everything, and then they're putting the cards down, and they stop wherever their birthday or the designated card lands, and they can look on either side of that for more information. That's one of my favorite things to do, with tarot readings too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do a couple of these spreads because, like, that's so cool. I'm looking right now at the monster cheese spread, so inspired by the 5 elements. All right, so this is a big one.
Yes.
This is 5 rows of 5 each, so that's a total of 25 cards.
Yeah, it's not a Lenormand reading, but it's
Yeah,
mighty.
it's pretty big, yeah. Which do you do, Lenormand?
I did for a while. I originally learned to read cards from the Denver Tarot meetup, and there were a few Lenormand experts, and we would get into it a bit. I really liked the language of it, and the language of Lenormand helps with tea leaf reading. I want to say it kind of predates it a little bit. So a lot of those symbols are similar there too.
That's fascinating. Lenormand is one thing that I know almost nothing about.
My understanding is there's 36, I believe, cards, and if you want to do the grand tableau, that's where you put out the 36 cards. There are cards that are kind of equivalent to the signifiers some of the tarot readers will use, and they're just a male and a female um, figure. And then a lot of the symbols include clouds, letters, birds, and then there's a fox and a dog. So, for example, the clouds are just confusion. The letters are communication that's more direct than the birds, which the birds could be interpreted in a more general sense.
Hmm, interesting. And I see how that dovetails with tea leaf reading because I did a tea leaf reading class once and I remember that it was a lot of you look into the tea scraps that are at the bottom and it's a lot like looking at clouds too. It's like kind of all right, what shapes are we seeing and where are they in relation to each other?
Absolutely. And I've really enjoyed that practice for about 13 years now. And trust me, it takes a couple years, at least for me, to get the knack of it. So, yeah, we can all take one class and feel, okay, we learned something out of it, but not everybody's a natural. And that's perfectly understandable.
Yes,
Uh,
totally.
Yeah, yeah. And in this book, the Cheese Astrology, a weekly guide, there is a whole section on cheese divination.
Mhm. Oh, let me.
We do part
Yeah.
yeah, and we talk about interpreting those metaphysical signs. And oh, even you can use like in Italian folk magic, there's an awesome example of reading the dough of pizza and how it's forming as as it's about to be cooked and how it's rising and what that entails. And you could also interpret metaphysical signs if you were making cheese,
Mhm.
but not everybody has that time or luxury. So in the book, I do share some ideas about tyromancy instead of tasseomancy or cartomancy, which are tea leaf reading and card reading, respectfully. Tyromancy comes from the word tyrosine, which are those crystals that you find in Parmesan, for example. Yeah.
That's you're like opening up my eyes to like so many things I didn't like even consider. But now you've got the wheels turning. So about that, let's go back to the pizza dough because living in New
Mhm.
Jersey, that's a very important part of our culture. Um, so it's before the pizza goes in the oven though, right? It's while it's still raw? Or is it once it's in the oven and you're watching as it bakes and bubbles and kinda starts doing its thing?
It's the behavior as it's being prepared for serving. So
Oh.
I think you're onto something, and that just like all of us divination practitioners come up with our own understanding through experience of what things are going to mean and, what the end result is, I think you could absolutely look at the preparation process as well as I love the idea of how it's cooking too, how it's baking.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, a lot happens when the bread's in the oven, and I'm thinking, could we also take the same principle and apply it
Mhm.
to focaccia? And I only throw out focaccia specifically because I started getting into making focaccias last summer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the easiest bread. It's like 4 ingredients. It's flour, yeast, salt, and water.
Mhm.
So simple. It's vegan.
Mhm.
Everyone can eat it. It's wonderful. But I've been putting fresh herbs from the garden onto it. Can we
I
combine, yeah, herbalism and bread divination?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, smorgasbord for the foodies out there today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to apply your fingertips to the focaccia dough, I've wanted to make that as well. Yeah, so you've got a little bit of kitchen witchery there too. A lot of it.
So what are your big 3 in cheeses?
Ooh, oh, and cheeses. I know
Yeah,
bouchon.
I guess in traditional astrology and in cheeses.
I'll give it to you in cheese first from what I know is Boucheron and Roquefort
Okay.
and maybe Pecorino Romano. But they are Pisces Sun and Gemini Rising and Gemini Moon.
Yes.
But I know I picked, yeah.
I looked up my moon and rising as well, so a baby Swiss sun, espresso
Mhm.
cheese moon for Aries too.
Outstanding.
So yeah.
It's my
Oh,
father's
say what?
son, yes.
Cool. So hey, I guess he and I would get along in an interesting way because it's kind of what he's got outward and reflective. I've got inward.
Mhm.
Like peanut butter and maple syrup on pancakes, there's nothing better than coffee grounds cradling a good parm cheddar. I love it.
Yeah, my father used to love peanut butter and maple syrup on pancakes.
Sounds like a good combo.
It is a good combo, as is the coffee grounds on the parm cheddar.
And I've had coffee cheese before, and it's yummy. I like it like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Espresso is like, just adds like a really nice depth to it.
It's kind of that wake up cheese, and during the early part of the zodiac as well.
Mhm. Yeah, makes sense. So, oh, and then my rising is camembert. Ew la la. Ripe, round, wrapped in paper, and ready to travel in wooden boxes. Originally issued to French troops during World War One. Huh. All right. That's Scorpio 1.
Oh, it's Scorpio, not Libra. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Give it sunny days and love it for its mysterious, sometimes pungent joie de vivre.
So then I guess
Yep,
with it,
you can't be a cheesemonger without a little joie de vivre for French.
that's true. Yeah. Are there is there any particular country or region that you tend to really prefer cheeses from primarily?
Right now, I keep thinking about manchego,
Okay.
which
Oh,
is a Spanish cheese, and it also goes really well with we say if it grows together, it goes together. So it goes really nice with quince paste and, Marcona almonds. And that tastes like peanut butter and jelly.
that sounds really nice. So Mark, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, it's
Try it.
another thing for everyone to try out there.
Mm.
Yeah, and on your camembert, one of the things I love about the book and putting it together was that love of food and how can we use it. For the suggested recipe for your camembert is garlic bread with baked camembert.
Would smash.
Yeah.
Probably would smash pretty much everything in this book.
Aw. And that's your rising?
Yes, yeah. My rising is Scorpio 1 degree.
I love that, especially with your occupation
Yep.
as this tarot reader. It's so fitting. And the magical use for your cheese is to ignite your best qualities, which you've done a lot of, and develop greater intuition with good self-defense.
Hey, I'll take it. Yeah, and I love how self-defense is in this cheese because it does have a little bit of that muskiness that are you brave enough to eat the camembert?
And it comes in a box.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pecorino Romano is hiding in the Aries. So I was off about that.
Oh, I was just like, "Oh, okay, so dang, so then where's your rising?"
That is Aries 3 right after your espresso cheese on page 41.
Okay.
And I love Pecorino Romano, and maybe that's why I kind of convinced myself that that was one of my big 3, as that second Gemini floating out there. Uh, I'm gonna cook with it tonight, actually, with some cabbage from my own garden.
Oh, nice.
They're starting a new recipe. Yeah, it sounds like it can't miss. It's a pasta. Yeah, and I love Pecorino Romano. I enjoy it a little bit more than Parmesan. I just feel that the flavor profile is a little bit the salt is just right for me.
Yeah, no, a lot of people do. I've noticed that a lot of people would prefer pecorino over parmesan for precisely that reason, and it's a little
Mhm.
punchier, so it's a little when I'm cooking something, I want it to, you know, I want to taste it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Although I do like parmesan and mac and cheese.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I do like a garlic parm mac and cheese. It's super yummy.
Ooh, very smart. You can't go wrong adding garlic to things.
You can't.
Unless you're a vampire.
I guess so. Yeah, but we're not. So.
We're not. Yeah, and that powerfulness of some of the cheeses like Pecorino Romano plays into the affirmation parts too. For Pecorino Romano affirmation, I am designed with care. My influence is powerful. I can conquer anything one step at a time.
I love it.
And it's the stoic cheese. Whereas, oh, your espresso cheese, your moon, right, is the self starter. So it could be very true for you that to fulfill your childlike needs or your basic needs, you kind of want to start things yourself.
Yeah, which I'd say sounds pretty spot on.
There's a fulfillment there.
Part of the satisfaction of getting something done is having done it yourself, not just having it handed to you. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, that's why I want to do the thing. Maybe that's why I dislike generative AI so much. So, what are you doing these days? I know you're a fellow tarot card reader, you're a tea leaf reader, so do you offer cheese readings as well or just primarily the other sorts?
I haven't yet. I once did a pancake back to the pancakes. I once did a after the pancake reading for a coworker at work. They gave us some pancake breakfast and I looked into the syrup on their plate with their consent and gave them a little rundown and they just like looked at me with these big eyes like, "Whoa, how'd you see all that?" Uh, so I would definitely do cheese readings if the opportunity arose.
Mhm.
Would be lots of fun, and there are insights on how you could interpret patterns and, asking yourself, do you see landscapes? Do you see numbers, letters, animals, things like that? But what I'm doing lately does tie back to the tarot and tea leaf reading side of things in that I am working on the finishing touches for a manuscript that got approved as my debut poetry collection.
Oh, congratulations! That's awesome.
Yay, and that's a different publisher, Accents Publishing, but also back in Lexington, Kentucky.
Nice.
And that was my dream to get them to get on board with me. So yeah, there are a number of poems in there that are related to or directly talk about like tarot card reading. There's one where I step in for a tarot card reader and it's still COVID. So I'm wearing a mask and I'm in her booth because she needed a few days off. And they would call me by her name.
Oh man.
Yep. And one of my favorites is called Predetermination. I should oh, where is it? I'll have to get it out of here. But yeah, that's one of the exciting things I'm doing. Oh, and Substack.
Mhm.
I've been carving out a little space on Substack, and I really do enjoy that it gives me the opportunity to connect with so many poets
Yeah,
and other creative.
I've been having a really good time reading your Substack. So, yeah, to everyone listening, follow Tabitha on Substack.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, what's your handle just that way everyone can hear it and I'll drop it in the show
It's
notes.
tabithadial.substack.com.
Yep, so, give her a follow. Her stuff's awesome and she posts really frequently.
I'm crazy. I've got that Gemini influence. All right, here we go. Predetermination, if I may share. Oh, and really quick, one of my favorite things about Substack is I have the opportunity to have this platform where I do get to do live streams and interview poets and talk about their pieces. But I'm gonna work with an astrologer next time to talk about Mercury retrograde, and
Oh, cool.
hopefully I can convince this awesome local podcaster to join me on a live stream.
I would. We could. Yeah, no, I'm totally down for that.
It's a cheese match.
Ah, I love it.
The cheese pairing.
Now I want to like go to ShopRite and buy my big three cheeses and find a meal that incorporates all three of them. Like,
Yes,
I don't know that these would make a good grilled cheese together, but could they be different segments of a multi-course meal?
absolutely. Let's see, they were camembert, espresso, and
Baby Swiss.
baby
Mm.
Swiss.
I think camembert, maybe that would be our appetizer. Have some of that on some cheesy garlic bread.
Mm-hmm.
Espresso will be the last course. That's our very English cheese and fruit course.
Mm-hmm. And depends on what time of day, Maybe you want to spend the whole day and start with the espresso to wake you up.
There you go. Yeah. No.
A nice little baby Swiss on a sandwich. And then yes, indulge in the camembert.
Maybe yeah, camembert with some berries or something. You can catch
Oh.
like brie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, you're giving me ideas.
That's good. So the poem is called Predetermination. Divination doesn't take a day off, so I step in for Sadie, slinging tarot cards and decoding loose leaf tea in a teacup. The visitors who met me the first 2 days sometimes called me by her name, as the sign says. It's her tent at Julietta Market, and I spoke from beneath a face mask. The next time will be Father's Day and the day after Granddad's birthday. I insist that our fates are not from our fathers and mothers, that we create our own. All shall be revealed. My grandmother unfurled the shapes in the teapot at the restaurant called Far East, while Granddad recited the same mock fortune to us every time he opened his cookie. Your charm and intelligence are exceeded only by your good looks. Respectfully, I break my own rules about fate. I've coined a similar fortune. My grandparents are gone, but left me with a good running gag and a great filter to determine my own safety. My pretended fortune cracks open, and my rehearsal determines if those brought to the table humor me, love me, and are listening after all.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I forgot how biographical and useful that poem is. If someone asked me, how did you learn tea leaf reading? I'm just like, it's in this poem.
And is that it's based on a true story? Like you did step in for a reader?
I did step in for this reader when she needed a few days off. It was very nice that I got asked.
Nice.
It's always nice when we can help each other out.
So Uranus and Gemini. Uranus is going to be hanging out in your first house.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got 7 years of a lot of turning things upside down and really rethinking your connection to yourself and your sense of self. Like it's doing things right in your house of ego. And who am I? Oh boy.
Who am I? How do I appear to the world? What do I want to embrace? What do I want to get away from? And as we talked about the analog world and the digital world, I did already make the decision to get away from. I was really working hard on TikTok for maybe a couple years up until I want to say December before those decisions were made about privacy laws and things, and they were starting to decide if they were gonna rip it away from us or not. I didn't like all that, and I was like, "I don't like where this is headed anyway." And I stepped away from that side of me, but I had accomplished the goals that I had. And I think that's an important takeaway too, is here we have Gemini or Uranus and Gemini and all these big possibilities, this reawakening, this disruption, and we're going to be using our heads in ways that we haven't for a while. We're going to be forced into our heads, sharing our thoughts, and even networking in ways that we haven't before, which is really exciting. I kind of forgot where my thought was on.
Which is
Oh,
very Gemini because it's probably going in 16 different directions.
it is. But that was the stepping away from TikTok, and I did reach my modest goals. And I think using our momentum to reach modest goals is a big part of who I am. Oh my, yes, that's what I want to say. If anything, to our audience here at OMG Tarot is, break down your goals. And that's something that I'm trying to help people who read my Substack understand. And I can put more energy into that because that's how the cheese book came around. It's how the poetry book came around. And I have a picture that I did share in a note on Substack that I took of my 12-week plan that I broke down using a guidebook on how to publish your own poetry in its own book collection, and to how I would break it down for 12 weeks just to get the manuscript ready to submit at the stage I was at. So I'm a firm believer in breaking down your goals.
Yeah, honestly, that's the way to do it. I'm not good at getting big goals done, to be perfectly honest. It's like you gotta have the little ones seem so much more manageable.
Well, that's just like with cheese too.
Yeah, you would
The
know.
little bite-sized treats.
That's why we like string cheese and baby bells so much.
Yeah, they can go anywhere with us. And the string cheese is in the book as Mercury retrograde.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep. No, actually mozzarella sticks. Sorry.
oh well,
Point
and there's a difference. Mozzarella sticks is referring to something very different from string cheese, even though they are technically the same thing. One is just the raw version.
Mhm. One is fried and one is yeah. Absolutely.
Have you ever tried making mozzarella sticks with string cheese?
Ooh. No.
It doesn't work. The moisture is, I guess, too low and the coating doesn't stick to it. I tried and I was like, "Oh, there's a reason why we get the block of mozzarella to make mozzarella sticks with." I made that mistake exactly once.
That is hilarious. And I wish you had been helping me write this book because I use the term mozzarella sticks here to mean the string cheese that we can put in our lunch boxes. But yeah, there's absolutely a distinction, and I think I talk about that. But no, I'm absolutely meant you throw it in with your adventure that you're gonna take.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's the best way to get a little bit of protein on the go right after the gym.
Mhm.
You got it in your bag, whatever.
Yeah, very Mercurian. I'm a big proponent of getting that generic stuff. And I am not a cheese snob either. Oh my goodness. If you want that Velveeta block and that makes you happy, go get it. If you want that processed cheese slice, please enjoy it.
They've all got
But
their own use cases.
we can't yuck people's yum,
Yeah.
especially now.
And I've had some really good vegan cheeses too.
Yeah, I am so glad you brought up the vegan cheeses. Did you say you were vegan when you mentioned the focaccia too?
No, it just happens to be
Just
vegan, so it's a good thing to bring to like dinner parties and gatherings because everyone can have it. Like there's literally not unless you're gluten free. Like
mhm.
that's the only one who can't have that.
Genius. I'm gonna tuck that away for the future. Yeah. But I do have some lactose-free alternates for folks because I have run into a lot of people who say, "Well, I don't eat cheese." So they dismiss my book outright. I'm like, "Well, you don't want to learn about your archetype and you don't want to have affirmations in your life." I was like, "No, I very much understand people who either don't want to consume dairy or they cannot." And I have a list of those alternatives in the book for them too.
Nice.
We aim to please.
Yeah.
And I love that there's that whole um proverb that the moon is made of cheese, and it was fun to look that up when I started writing, front end materials, as they're called in the publishing world, for this book, and how I always thought that was just very whimsical and silly and cute, but in fact, it's meant almost as maybe a cautionary message, because the person who, at least the interpretation I found, the person who believed that the moon was made of green cheese is really, in fact, not very sharp.
Hmm.
They have that perception, but it's not reasonable proof. There's no knowledge.
Mhm. Interesting. I thought it was, yeah, too. I just thought it was just like a whimsical, silly thing. I didn't realize that
Maybe
that it was deeper.
maybe that's our generation. Like, oh, I love it when I am gifted by the universe on my algorithm with those being a poet. I'll get them a lot, but also loving mythology. I'll get them a lot. Where they'll use a phrase that's very familiar, like knocking 3 times or, a bird in the hand and whatever. But they'll use one simple phrase that we hear a lot, and then you find out there's this entire poem, and it's often goes to a dark place too, because these are from folklore and they're, a whole different perspective on life and trying to protect us and preserve us like the cheese, preserve us in times when, there weren't even ice boxes yet. So we were very reliant on the seasons and and nature around us.
That's I never even thought about that, but that's really fascinating. And I think you're going to send me down a bit of a rabbit hole looking those up.
Well, if I see them, I will send them your way, and they'll probably pop up now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so I guess all these devices spying on us.
The people who really do love, they want to like launch down maybe more on love stories in general. Yes, there are a couple poems in the book that will come out, and that'll be in 2027, the poetry book. So there is some love poetry in there, but one of the cheese spreads is for looking at possible pairing. It's a love reading. And I think it's really important when we do look at how we want to find love and things like that, that we figure out what we can do for ourselves to be ready for that and understand what a relationship means for us. And so that's a lot of what those questions in particular are for that reading.
Looking forward to reading the book of poetry. Is there any place that anyone can pre-order it or check it out now, or just keep following you and hang tight?
Keep following me, hang tight. I don't even know a release month yet. My deadline for getting everything to her is still like the very 1st of August. One of the cool things that I've heard people say they do with the Cheese Astrology weekly guide is they will have their friends look at their entry and put their name in it. I think that is so cute. I've also had a really, yeah, and that was a heartwarming story from the expo. They came by the booth and they saw my book and they said, "That's the book." And then they told me that. And then another thing I've heard, I left a copy of this book at a writer's retreat I did, and I heard that someone had picked it up and was sharing it during the lunch periods where everybody's together. And she was able to reach out to me and tell me about it because she's like, "I know this name," and it happened to be someone in a poetry group that I'm part of. So it's always good to work with others, collaborate, learn from them, and that helps with your goals as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You should tell people how we met.
Yeah, so we met through Discord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and then you were you were lurking and saw me being all like, "I'm gonna be at this wonderful expo, please come out." And I even advertised the books a little bit and you having your interest in astrology, but I think you also had another friend at the expo.
I did.
Those are good reasons. Yeah, and those were good reasons for you to come. And I'm so glad you came. And immediately your vibes were so awesome. It's funny. The lady who has the baby Swiss son, I think, she also kind of has the same stature and you had the jacket on. And that was very much her too. And I was like, wait a second. I kind of had this misplacement of like, wait, are you Laura? Or
Oh, and hey, same first initial too.
I know, eerie, huh?
But yeah, if anyone listening is wondering, it's the Heart of Oneness Expo in Edison, New Jersey. So it comes around every year. If you're looking for a great big expo center full of crystals, readings, literally every kind of reading you could possibly want. What else? Statues, magical paraphernalia, anything, right?
Yeah, and lectures on almost every topic imaginable.
Yes. So come to it. It's fun. And yeah, it's literally how we met in person. I walked up to
Yeah,
the booth and was like, wait, we're in a Discord together.
so glad you said hey. Yeah, and it's so well run. I've been to a lot of events. I know you have too, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if you're a practitioner in this space and you're considering setting up shop and trying your hand at a event, that's a good one to make a try at.
Yeah, well, last message to your listeners would be to remember charcuterie is witchery, and you deserve some cheese and crackers and an easy girl meal, I think they call it.
A girl dinner, yeah.
Girl dinner.
Yeah, just one of my favorite meals. So thank you so much for being on the pod. This was so much fun.
Thank you. This was a very good time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So once again, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
I would really appreciate tabithadial.substack.com. I'm also on Instagram at Tabitha Dial, Blue Sky at Tabitha Dial. It's always TABITHADIAL.
Yeah. Go give Tabitha a follow, read her poems, buy her books, check her out. She's awesome. And if you're not following me yet for some reason, my handle on Instagram is its ITS_OMG_tarot. You can also check out my website, omgtarot.com, or follow my Substack, omgtarot.substack.com.